Okay, in today's video I want to talk about a common enough situation that I come across, and that is where somebody is receiving a gift of a site to build a house. They obviously would be concerned about some tax implications. One would be gift tax and the other would be stamp duty. There's also a planning consideration and evaluation consideration to factor in to the equation. But it is a common situation, particularly in rural areas where a parent, mother or father, or indeed an uncle or an aunt might give a site as a gift to a young person, young couple, to build a house. So that's what I'm going to look at in this video, and it may be of interest to you if you are receiving a site to build a house. Okay, the first thing to understand is that if you're getting a gift from a parent or from an uncle or indeed from anybody, you're getting a gift, and therefore the question of gift tax arises. Now, whether tax will be payable or not, whether a liability will arise or not, will depend on the relationship that you have with the donor. So if it's a parent, you have a tax-free allowance taking a gift from a parent of, at today's date, October 2019, of 335,000. Okay, so clearly any site you get is almost certainly going to be tax-free. There's going to be no gift tax implication. On the other hand, if you take the gift from an uncle or an aunt, the degree of relationship is different, and your tax-free allowance as a consequence is different. It reduces to 32,500, in other words, approximately 10%. So that's where you may run into a gift tax liability situation. The gift can only be up to, or the site can only have a value of up to 32.5 grand, otherwise you're going to be paying tax. Now, we'll talk about the valuation of the site in a minute. Finally, there's one other group. So there's group A, that's from a parent, group B from an uncle or an aunt or a brother or sister, and group C is from everybody else, from a stranger. It's very unlikely you're going to get a gift from a stranger. But if you somehow got a gift from a stranger, perhaps a neighbour who was very fond of you or something, they've no blood relationship with you, then they are a stranger in law. From a tax perspective, the allowance there is only 16,250. Okay, so you have 16,250 in Group C, you have 32,500 in Group B, and 335,000 in Group A, and this will determine whether you have a tax liability or not. Clearly, the value of the site then is important. So the site, before it gets planning permission, assuming planning permission is going to be granted or is granted, and the site after planning permission has been granted, has two significantly different values. Therefore, it makes sense to get the site valued before you get planning permission, because you'll be paying stamp duty also on the value of the site. And the value of the site, as I say, before planning permission and after planning permission will be different. You'll be paying 6% stamp duty on the site because it's non-residential. Obviously, you hope to build a house, but at this point in time, it's non-residential, so 6%. And as I say, stamp duty is payable on the value of the site. You will have to get it valued by an auctioneer. That needs to go onto the solicitor's file just to protect everybody involved, and if the revenue commissioners come and make any sort of inquiries or inspection, you do need a valuation. Clearly, getting the valuation done before planning permission is granted is a smart idea. And the gift tax then, as I say, will only apply if the value of the site exceeds your particular threshold, your tax allowance, your group threshold. If you're getting it from a parent, you're probably not going to exceed it. If you're getting it from an uncle or an aunt, it'll be a different situation, because around these parts, you're looking at 30 grand to 50 grand perhaps for a site. So whether there's permission or not is significant. That's gift tax, that's stamp duty. Then obviously getting the transfer from the donor to you, he or she, the donor, is going to have their own solicitor, and you're going to have your own solicitor. The same solicitor cannot act for both parties. So that's something to factor in. In other words, if you are getting a gift from an uncle or an aunt or a parent, you may volunteer to pay the costs, the legal costs for the donor. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, you might give it a thumbs up down below if you're watching it on YouTube or indeed anywhere else. And you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel, where I explain Irish law and business in plain language, and I upload a new video to Google every week. Or to YouTube every week rather. If you want to check the CAT thresholds, that's the capital acquisitions tax thresholds, which are the thresholds applicable for a gift tax, then you can just Google it, but you'll get them on the Revenue Commissioner's website. As I say, hope you find this video useful. If you do, give it a thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.